Hello, fellow Frasier fans, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we embark on a journey down memory lane as we remember the talented actors who graced the beloved sitcom Frasier from 1993 to 2004. As we revisit the charm and wit of this iconic show, we'll also pay tribute to those cast members who are no longer with us. Frasier remains a timeless classic, a show that brought laughter and joy into our homes for over a decade. Join us as we celebrate the incredible ensemble that made Frasier a cultural phenomenon. Throughout its 11 seasons, Frasier introduced us to a host of memorable characters, each brilliantly portrayed by a cast of exceptional actors. Sadly, some of these talented individuals are no longer with us, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and unforgettable moments. In this video, we'll take a moment to honor and remember these actors, exploring their contributions to the world of entertainment and the impact they had on the Frasier family. From their early days on the show to their lasting influence, we'll dive into the stories of these remarkable individuals. So whether you're a longtime fan of Frasier or someone discovering the show for the first time, join us on this heartfelt journey as we pay tribute to the actors who made Frasier the iconic masterpiece that it is. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our nostalgic explorations and tributes. Let's jump right in and celebrate the wonderful souls who brought Frasier to life. Without further ado, let the journey begin. John Mahoney. For 11 seasons, John Mahoney portrayed Martin Crane on Frasier, earning him 2 Emmy nominations. Mahoney passed away in a Chicago hospice on February 4, 2018, due to complications from throat cancer, initially diagnosed in 2014. He was 77 years old. Charles John Mahoney entered the world in Blackpool, England on June 20, 1940, as the 7th of 8 siblings. His father, Reg, a baker with a passion for classical piano, and his mother, Margaret, a reading-loving housewife, welcomed him into the family. Mahoney's paternal grandfather hailed from Ireland. Evacuated from Manchester to Blackpool during the heavy bombings of World War II, Mahoney commenced his education at St. Joseph's College. Feeling dissatisfied with his professional path, Mahoney enrolled in acting classes at St. Nicholas Theatre, a decision that inspired him to resign from his day job and commit to acting full-time. Following a stage production in Chicago in 1977, John Malkovich urged him to join the Steppenwolf Theatre, a move that led to him winning the Clarence Derwent Award as Most Promising Male Newcomer in 1986. Mahoney resided in Oak Park, Illinois, and faced colon cancer in the mid-1980s. Successfully treated for cancer once again in 2014, he credited his passion for acting and the desire to continue pursuing it for providing him with the determination to overcome both challenges. In October 2017, Mahoney expressed, "I refuse to yield to it because I love what I'm doing so much." Known for keeping his private life private, Mahoney did not marry or have children. In 2002, he disclosed, "I was never very mature in my relationships with women. At the first sign of conflict, I was gone. Wouldn't discuss it because I was afraid it would lead to an argument." This fear stemmed from the desire to avoid an unhappy marriage, similar to his parents, although Mahoney had experienced several long-term relationships in the past. Bob Hoskins. Among these was Academy Award nominee Bob Hoskins, who portrayed Frasier's abusive high school gym teacher in a series of flashbacks to his school days. Hoskins received a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease in 2011, leading him to retire from acting in August 2012. On April 29, 2014, Hoskins passed away due to pneumonia at a London hospital at the age of 71. He is survived by his wife, Linda, and his 4 children. Hoskins commenced his acting career in 1968 at the Victoria Theatre in Stoke-on-Trent, taking on the role of a servant named Peter in a production of Romeo and Juliet. A year later, while waiting at the bar at Unity Theatre, London, for his friend, actor Roger Frost, Hoskins unexpectedly found himself being auditioned for a play after being handed a script and told, "You're next." In an interview, when questioned about the living person he most overlooked, Hoskins mentioned Tony Blair, stating, "He's done even more damage than Thatcher." His dislike for Blair reached a point where, in 2010, for the first time in his life, he chose not to vote for Labor, then led by Gordon Brown. Hoskins often jests about his similarities with film actor Danny DeVito, humorously suggesting that DeVito would play him in a film about his life. From his first wife, Jane Livesey, Hoskins had two children, Alex, born 1968, and Sarah, born 1971. With his second wife, Linda Banwell, he welcomed two more children, Rosa, born c. 1983, and Jack, born c. 1986. Hoskins split his time between the Hampstead area of London and Chiddingly, East Sussex. In his later years, he decided to give up alcohol, citing his wife's influence as the reason for embracing sobriety. Robert Loggia. Robert Loggia had already made a name for himself in Hollywood when he made a guest appearance in a 2000 episode of Frasier, taking on the role of Stefano, the owner of an Italian restaurant whose gruff demeanor once left Niles with terrifying PTSD as a child. In 2010, Loggia received a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. He passed away on December 4, 2015, due to complications from the disease, at his residence in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles at the age of 85. Loggia was born on January 3, 1930, in Staten Island, New York, to Biagio Loggia, a shoemaker born in Palma di Montechiaro, province of Agrigento, Sicily, and Elena Blandino, a homemaker born in Vittoria, province of Ragusa, Sicily. He grew up in the Little Italy neighborhood, where Italian was the spoken language at home. At the age of 25, he made his Broadway debut in The Man with the Golden Arm in 1955. Although Loggia appeared uncredited in his first film, Somebody Up There Likes Me, 1956. It wasn't until 2 years later, when he was cast as New Mexico lawman El Fego Baca, that he achieved a breakthrough in Hollywood. Loggia was in a marriage with Marjorie Sloan from 1954 to 1981, and they had 3 children together. He and Sloan divorced in 1981. In 1982, Loggia tied the knot with Audrey O'Brien, a business executive and the mother of his stepdaughter Cynthia Marlette. Loggia and O'Brien remained married until his passing in 2015. Renee OBrien. Renee OBrien had already built a distinguished career as a character actor when he made a guest appearance on Frasier. First introduced in the series' 8th season, OBrien took on the role of Frasier's Harvard professor, Dr. William Tewksbury. On December 6, 2019, he spent his final moments with his family at his residence in Los Angeles, reflecting on photographs and enjoying music. He then followed the prescribed medication for assisted suicide and passed away at the age of 79. The California End-of-Life Option Act mandates that death certificates should attribute the cause of death to the underlying terminal illness rather than the use of life-ending medications. His official cause of death was cited as metastatic lung cancer. After completing college, OBrien collaborated with various theater companies, starting at the esteemed Arena Stage in Washington, D.C. He then shuttled between Los Angeles, California, and New York, participating in numerous theater productions. He played a pivotal role in establishing the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles, and the Brooklyn Academy of Music Repertory Company in New York City. During the 1962 season, he was part of the Peninsula Players Summer Theater program. OBrien shared his life with his wife, Judith Mahoney, from 1963 until his passing in 2019, and they were blessed with 2 children, Tessa and Rami. Alice Playton. Actress Alice Playton was featured in the 6th season of Frasier, portraying the recurring character of Martin's then-partner, Bonnie. Playton passed away on June 25, 2011, at Sloan Kettering Hospital in Manhattan due to heart failure, a result of a lifetime battle with juvenile diabetes complicated by pancreatic cancer. Plon shared her life with director Joshua White from at least July 1982 until her passing. Born in New York City, Plon commenced her career in 1959 at the age of 11, taking on the role of Marie's young son in the Metropolitan Opera's inaugural production of Alban Berg's Wozzeck. Her Broadway repertoire included Gypsy, Oliver, Henry, Sweet Henry, Hello, Dolly, Rumors, Seussical, and Caroline, or Change. Her diverse off-Broadway credits encompassed Promenade, The Last Sweet Days of Isaac, Up from Paradise, Sister Mary Ignatius. Explains It All for You, First Lady Sweet, A Flea in Her Ear, National Lampoon's Lemmings, and Schlemiel the First. Plon was a regular on the children's television series The Lost Saucer and That's Cat, graced National Lampoon's Disco Beaver from Outer Space during HBO's early days, and made guest appearances on Frasier, Law and Order, Third Watch, and As the World Turns, among others. Plon is perhaps most remembered for her portrayal of the newlywed who prepares a colossal dumpling as the inaugural meal for her husband, Terry Kaiser, in two iconic 1969-1970 Alka-Seltzer commercials. William Morgan Shepard. William Morgan Shepard made a guest appearance in the episode The Society, where Niles and Frasier attempt to undermine the other's chances of gaining admission to Seattle's prestigious society club. Shepard portrayed Mr. Drake, the club's president. Shepard and his spouse Regina were the parents of actor Mark Shepard. Shepard passed away on January 6, 2019, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 86. Shepard served in the British Merchant Navy during the Korean War. He graduated from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in 1958 and subsequently spent 12 years as an associate artist with the Royal Shakespeare Company. He graced Broadway with his presence in Marat Sade, 1966, and Sherlock Holmes, 1975, earning the Los Angeles Drama Critics Circle Award for The Homecoming in 1995. Shepard lent his voice to various characters in video games. He provided narrations for the introductions and mission briefings of the first 4 episodes of the Medal of Honor video game series. He secured a role in the 1996 adventure game Zork Nemesis, embodying the live-action character Bishop Francois Malvo, one of the 4 alchemists crucial to the game's plot. In 2000, he voiced Ignatius Cheese in the game Escape from Monkey Island. Shepard contributed his voice to the character John Adams in the Wii game The Conduit. He also voiced the character Lucky in the 2002 Xbox console game Whack-It. On August 4, 2010, Shepard was unveiled as the voice actor for the video game Civilization V and delivered voiceovers for loading screens, victory screens, built wonders, and newly researched technologies. Donald O'Connor. Among the numerous guest stars who made appearances on Frasier throughout the show's 11-season tenure, Donald O'Connor stands out as one of the most legendary. O'Connor underwent quadruple heart bypass surgery in 1990, and in January 1999, he faced a near-death experience due to pleural pneumonia. On September 27, 2003, at the age of 78, he passed away from complications of heart failure at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California. Born in 1925 to vaudevillians Edward Chuck O'Connor and Effie Irene in Chicago, Donald O'Connor was the 200th child born at St. Elizabeth Hospital. The O'Connors, both involved in the world of entertainment, had difficulty pinpointing the exact time and place of Donald's birth due to their extensive travels. Effie was a bareback rider, and Chuck was a circus strongman and acrobat, with his family originating from Ireland. O'Connor experienced 2 marriages and fathered 4 children. His first marriage occurred in 1944 when he was 18, tying the knot with Gwendolyn Carter, 20, in Tijuana. They had a daughter named Donna, and their turbulent 9-year marriage ended in 1954. Carter, frustrated by her lack of an acting career, physically abused O'Connor during their marriage. In the divorce settlement, Carter retained ownership of their home and custody of Donna. After their split, O'Connor, reportedly left with only the dog, sought help from multiple psychiatrists. Carter later married actor Dan Daly from 1955 to 1960. O'Connor entered his second marriage with actress Gloria Noble in 1956, and they remained together until his death in 2003. They had 3 children, Donald Frederick, Alicia, and Kevin. Gloria Noble passed away in 2013. Robert Proski. Proski, who passed away in 2008 at the age of 77, left a lasting impression with his appearance on Frasier. In his guest role, Proski portrayed the famously reclusive author T.H. Houghton, a character loosely inspired by A Catcher in the Rye writer J.D. Salinger. He strikes up a friendship with Martin at a sports bar and ultimately abandons his latest manuscript following a critique from Niles and Frasier. Born to Helen and Joseph Porzuchek in the Manayunk neighborhood of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Proski, a Polish-American, hailed from a working-class background. His father worked as a grocer and butcher. Raised in a neighborhood adjacent to Manayunk, he pursued studies at the American Theater Wing and later graduated from Temple University. Proski showcased his talents at the Old Academy Players, a small theater in the East Falls section of Philadelphia. Proski appeared in notable films such as Dead Man Walking and The Chamber, alongside actor Raymond J. Barry. Throughout his career, he earned 2 Tony Awards, 2 Helen Hayes Awards, an Emmy, the Drama Desk Award, and the American Express Tribute to an American Actor. Maintaining his passion for performance, Proski continued to deliver lectures on his extensive career at universities, film festivals, theater benefits, business groups, and cruise events. In 1960, he entered into matrimony with Ida Hove, and together they raised 3 sons, Stefan, John, and Andrew Proski, with the latter 2 pursuing careers as actors, David Ogden Steers. Over 10 years after the conclusion of that series, Steers made a noteworthy guest appearance on Frasier. In Steers' 2003 episode, titled Fathers and Sons, he takes on the role of Leland Barton, the former research assistant to Hester Crane, the eventual mother of Niles and Frasier. David Allen Ogden. Steers entered the world at St. Francis Hospital in Peoria, Illinois on October 31, 1942, born to Margaret Elizabeth and Kenneth Truman Steers. His upbringing unfolded in Peoria Heights, Chillicothe, and Urbana, Illinois, and later the family relocated to Eugene, Oregon. There, he completed his education at North Eugene High School and briefly attended the University of Oregon before pursuing studies at the Juilliard School in New York City, culminating in his graduation in 1972. Steers initially graced Broadway with his presence in 1974, making his debut in The Magic Show in the minor role of Feldman. His Broadway journey continued with appearances in productions like The Three Sisters and The Beggar's Opera. Early on, he garnered credits with roles on television series such as The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Kojak, and Rhoda. Steers even featured in the pilot episode of Charlie's Angels as the team's chief backup and portrayed a teacher in the 1977 television film A Circle of Children, centered around a school for special needs children. In 2009, Steers openly embraced his identity, coming out as gay. His passing occurred at his residence in Newport, Oregon, on March 3, 2018, at the age of 75, attributed to complications arising from bladder cancer. Steers left behind provisions in his will for bequests to various arts organizations in his local area, including the Newport Symphony, Newport Public Library, and the Oregon Coast Council for the Arts, among others. John Glenn. John Glenn, the 3rd American to journey into outer space and the first U.S. astronaut to orbit the Earth, later served 4 terms as a United States Senator and made a guest appearance on Frasier. The renowned NASA figure portrayed himself in the 2001 episode docudrama, where Roz received approval from management to produce a radio documentary on space travel. On December 8, 2016, Glenn passed away at the OSU Wexner Medical Center at the age of 95. The cause of death was not disclosed. Following his demise, a memorial service was held at Mershon Auditorium at Ohio State University, and his body lay in state at the Ohio State House. Another memorial service took place at the Kennedy Space Center near the Heroes and Legends building. Born on July 18, 1921, in Cambridge, Ohio, John Herschel Glenn Jr. was the son of John Herschel Glenn Sr., employed at a plumbing firm, and Clara Teresa Glenn, a teacher. His parents married shortly before John Sr., a member of the American Expeditionary Force, departed for the Western Front during World War I. Glenn and Annie shared 2 children, John David and Caroline Ann, and 2 grandchildren, enjoying a 73-year marriage that lasted until his passing. A Freemason, Glenn was affiliated with Concord Lodge No. 688 in New Concord, Ohio. He underwent a Mason at Sight ceremony, receiving all his degrees in full from the Grand Master of Ohio in 1978, 14 years after petitioning his lodge. Remember, this isn't the end. It's a pause before new beginnings. Let's continue to explore, learn, and grow, both individually and as a community. Thank you for being a part of this chapter. Until we meet again, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep embracing the journey.